Hey guys, my name is Betterbrick Studios, and Soundwave, he's just a classic. He's one of the core four Decepticons, and he just has such a great design and character. His voice was also very distinct because of the vocoder that they had on it. Soundwave even at times could turn into a one-man army when he deployed all of his cassettes, which leads to my Lego Transformer. So you can see here, he will be the focus of today's video. And to spoil it, I think this is a really good figure. Here he is in cassette recorder mode, and as you can see, he's almost completely smooth aside from these two studs on top. And from here, the illusion really starts to fall apart, because when you turn him around, that's just his arms hanging out in the open. I'd say his alt mode is definitely not the greatest I've ever made, but it's a sacrifice I had to make in order to have a really, really good robot mode. For details, you have the buttons on the front, and you have an opening cassette door, which leads us to accessories. He has a mini Laserbeak in cassette mode, and I also used to have Rumble, Frenzy, and Ravage, but I took those apart so I could use their pieces elsewhere. Laserbeak actually can fit inside Soundwave, although it is a very, very tight fit. For size comparisons, here we have Warpath, Grapple, Ultra Magnus, and my other Soundwaves. Now, specifically with the G1 Soundwave, you can see I took a lot of elements from this G1 Soundwave, such as the buttons here, and the general transformation. You can see the arms just hanging out on the back, and the head hinged back and turned around, and also with a Laserbeak. So that's about it for cassette mode. On to robot mode. To transform Soundwave into robot mode, it's actually really easy. You just fold out the legs, kind of hinge them a bit back to get the clearance. To move that hinge, rotate, hinge, fold out the feet, same thing on the other side. Then you just pull out the arms and the head. In robot mode, Soundwave looks a lot better than cassette mode. Just like most of my G1 Transformers, he has tiles everywhere, and the only studs that stick out are the ones on the shoulders, which were for a gun that I got rid of. One of my favorite things is the head sculpt. It uses these ingot pieces to get the perfect shape for the mouth. And I just really, really like how this turned out. Also, you got this little box section on the back, which is accurate to the cartoon, I believe. As for Laserbeak, he just really transforms easily into his bird mode. Like this. His wings are kind of hard to pose good, other than this kind of like perched pose, and then you can sit him on Soundwave's shoulder, and you can have him as a little companion. Articulation time! You got a ball joint at the head. Hinged shoulders have a lot of movement. Elbow bend with a swivel. Waist doesn't have any movements, but hips can go forward and back. Out really far and not that far in. Bend at the knee with a second joint for a swivel. And then the toe can kind of wiggle, but that isn't helpful for posing. So for posability, he's kind of just average. I really wish I could have some swivel above the elbow, and that would help with posing a lot, but I couldn't fit it in. For size comparisons, here we have Warpath, Grapple, Ultra Magnus, and my other Soundwaves. So in robot mode, I'd have to say he's about the size of your average Voyager. For my final thoughts, I think his cassette mode is not good, but he more than makes up for that in his robot mode. I have been Better Brick Studios, and I'll see you next time.